Ask Chop Anything. I asked you to ask me questions, so I have A's for your Q's. Let's go. Stole this from Sante Zap, by the way. Chargers, sorry to be negative, but what's your least favorite moment of 2025 in WWE? But also your favorite WWE moment of 2025. Least favorite, John Cena tapping out. Not John Cena losing his final match, John Cena tapping out for his final match. And you might be like, oh, Chop, but John Cena himself said it was the perfect ending. Wow, what a surprise. John Cena agreeing with WWE. Not speaking negative about WWE. That's a shocker to me. But yeah, you know what? That's my least favorite moment, whether or not John Cena loved it. I'm not saying John Cena's wrong, but, well, no, I am. John Cena should not have tapped out. That's my opinion. Or when John Cena got squashed by Brock Lesnar. I hated both of those almost equally. Probably the tap out just a little more though. My favorite moment, let's do a positive John Cena moment. When he gave Alicia Taylor the AJ Styles the intro where Alicia Taylor starts giving AJ his flowers. I thought that was a really cool, genuine moment. AJ Styles even said that John Cena got in trouble for that, but like, what were they gonna do? Fire him? Ooh, maybe that's why Triple H made him tap out. He's like, oh, you praising AJ Styles without my permission? You'll tap out. or let me give two, since I gave two for the other one. When Dominic Mysterio, when he won his Intercontinental Championship, and he was just so happy about it. He's walking up the ramp, and they're like, go back and celebrate. They need to get the camera shot. And so he runs back, and Finn Balor's like, what's going on here? And then Dominic gets on the ring buckles, and he's just super happy, just proud. The whole crowd is cheering him. I just remember when Dominic Mysterio was completely universally hated as a babyface, from myself included, and I was just like, why is this Nepo baby in WWE? But he has come such a long way. I was so proud of him. I was like, dude, great job not giving up. Because look at you now. I was genuinely happy for him, the person, but also happy that my guy won, because Dominic Mysterio, I love the character. Martins, could this be the year of Sami Zayn and LA Knight win the World Championship? Ooh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Moving on, could you imagine if all my answers were like that? I think they will hold off until WrestleMania 42. Or 43? Are we, what are we, 43, WrestleMania 43, I think they hold off on Sami Zayn there. I'm not saying I want them to win it, I just think that's what they're gonna do. I don't care who you are, if someone's writing $100 million check, you're gonna take their feelings into consideration, and so, yeah, I don't think Sami gets it this year, but next year, I think it might happen. As for LA Knight, well, if you watch Unreal Season 2, there's a moment where you can see that Triple H doesn't really like LA Knight. But was Triple H... Here's the thing, was Triple H making us believe he doesn't like LA Knight in Unreal Season 2, so when LA Knight does ascend to the championship, it's all work, baby, all part of the show. I think they finally give LA Knight the Money in the Bank. Finally, after 4 years too late, but finally, better late than never, I guess. So LA Knight, yes, Sami Zayn, next year. Perryville T-Rex, what got you into wrestling? What is your first WWE memory? So my first WWE memory was literally, I'm in a store. Back then, the stores had a bunch of TVs and they were all on one channel, and they were advertising WrestleMania 5 on it. I had no idea what this was. I'm asking my dad, what is this? He's like, that's wrestling. I guess my brother was into wrestling, but I don't really remember that. But so he's like, this is wrestling, and there's a show tonight. He's telling me about it. I'm like, can we get the show? So then we went and got the show. And so I watched WrestleMania 5 as my first ever anything, and fell in love with it. So my literally first wrestling memory is either that, or if you want to say matchup, it's the Rockers versus the Twin Towers. Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty versus Akeem, the African Dream, and the Big Boss Man with their manager Slick. And I was captivated in an instant, and I would fall in love with wrestling about, I think, 5 matches later when the Ultimate Warrior came running out. We got David LaCroix, horror author. Hey, Chop, wishing you a successful 2026. Thank you. Outside of wrestling and family, what is your biggest passion? Being creative, honestly. Comic books too. I really love comic books, but me myself being creative, I'm always trying to do something. When I'm not, I'm writing, I'm engaging. I'm always trying to figure out a way to use that creativity also to make a living from it. I want to quit the day job and make a living with my creative juices. So, but yeah, I love to write and just create stories. Carmichael says, what is the one place in the world you would like to visit the most and why? Ooh. The one place in the world that I would like to visit the most? The Louvre. I've always wanted to go and see the Mona Lisa. Honestly, I know that's such a basic answer, but like I fell in love with classical art, and back in high school, I had a teacher, Mr. LeBlanc. He gave me a love for the Renaissance era, just classical paintings and stuff, and I just always wanted to go to the Louvre. I want to see the Mona Lisa. That is the most basic vanilla answer you could give. And New York. New York City. I want to go to New York and get a slice of pizza or a hot dog. And I want to go visit the Nintendo store of New York. The Nintendo store of New York. I want to see the Statue of Liberty. I want to go pay my respects to the 9/11 memorial. There's so much I want to do in New York. I want someone to yell at me. I want a taxi driver to almost run me over. I want to experience New York. Sorry if you live in New York and I just laid out a bunch of stereotypical things. Goat Buggy. Do you watch adult cartoons like The Simpsons and Family Guy? Because I love them so much. I used to watch them. I have no problems with them. I actually loved the first 3 seasons of Family Guy, but eventually, I don't know, I just kind of like stopped watching. Same with The Simpsons. But I do watch Fox Machina, Invincible, and The Dragon Prince. Those are three animated shows that I watch like whenever they come out. They're not necessarily for kids though, so don't be like, oh wow, Chop says these are great cartoons, so I'm gonna let my kids watch them. No, they're very adult. Well, Dragon Prince you could probably let your kids watch. JSR Animal. What is your favorite thing to do when you're not working on videos? Just being creative. And I have other projects that I would like to eventually do and get back to. I actually created a science fiction fantasy universe called the Night. Never mind. But I would like to get to that stuff. But writing. Obsidian Kane. If suddenly all the typical main eventers were retired, somehow, how would you build the new roster scene only using mid-card and lower wrestlers? If I'm allowed to use LA Knight, yeah, I would instantly make him champion. And try to get edgier. Trick would probably become your SmackDown champion. We got Green as your SmackDown champion. Raquel Rodriguez would then become your Raw Women's champion. And then Oba Femi would be a Brock Lesnar. He would come in and probably by SummerSlam become your champion. And then him and LA Knight would go at it. Chad Gable would become eventually Oba Femi's his main rival, kind of how we did Brock and Kurt Angle. Carmelo Hayes would become a big part of the main event scene. Kit Wilson might get a funny US title run, kind of similar to when Santino got the Intercontinental title. So yeah, it wouldn't be that hard, to be honest with you. So many guys ready for the main event scene, and gals. Rania Design says, what motivated you to decide to lose weight and how were you able to stick to it? Most people don't. what motivated me to lose weight was, okay, so like, if you didn't know, I used to be 50 pounds heavier. So when I do videos, a lot of times I will kind of like sit on one leg. I have one leg under my other leg. Well, one day that leg fell asleep. The leg was asleep because I was on a live stream for so long or something. And I started freaking out. Honestly, I was like, wait a second, why is my leg like the way it is? And like, it's numb, and it stayed numb for a very long time. So I started getting afraid of having diabetes because I had just watched something about a guy losing his foot because of diabetes. And so I started thinking that, oh my God, do I have diabetes? I went to the doctors. They're like, no, you don't have diabetes. And I went to, but I was like, what if they're wrong? What if they're wrong? So I was like, I gotta do something. I should have probably looked into it, but all I did was based off of knowledge I knew. I was like, well, people who get diabetes because they eat sugar a lot. So I went to sugar-free stuff, but I didn't want to just eliminate everything. Because those times that I tried to eliminate everything, I would always like, eventually that diet would last a week. So I was like, let me just cut back on stuff. So I started watching what I ate without like saying no. If I was like at a restaurant and someone got me a burger, I'd eat the burger, not complain. But if I had an opportunity at home, I would just make a burger with just the patty. You know what I'm saying? A year prior, I had tried to get to exercising, and my boss actually, her husband's like a personal trainer, and he was going to train me, but he said, I need to know if you're serious because I don't want to waste my time. I need you for 2 weeks to walk 15 minutes. And I didn't live up to that. So he didn't want to waste his time with me, and I don't blame him. But so I remember that conversation, and I was like, well, walking, if I just walk 15 minutes, that's what he told me to do. So I started walking 15 minutes a day. And then I started looking up videos about walking. And they would say things like, well, if you walk after you eat, then you can actually burn like double the calories. And I was like, well, heck, if I'm going to walk 15 minutes every day anyways, I might as well just do it after I eat so I can burn extra. So I can burn extra, two for the price of one. And then I started thinking, well, if I'm walking once a day, what if I walk twice a day? And so I just started adding walking to my diet. And then I got a scale and I looked at it and I was like, holy crap, I just lost 8 ounces. And so every day I would look at it and try to lose 8 more ounces. And here I am. It was just momentum. I never beat myself up if I ended up eating a burger or a pizza. I allowed myself a lot of grace in the beginning, and that naturally built upon itself to the point where I'm like, nah, I don't need that. And I'm not gonna lie, it makes me getting my foot in the door a little easier when it comes to the ladies department. I have a profile on Tinder, and while my personality goes a long way, your personality doesn't really shine on your Tinder profile. So it feels being not so heavy helps get that swipe right. Let's just be real here, people. We can be real, right? We're all adults in the room. Jimbo Slice says, hey, Chop, do you watch the UFC or have you in the past? If so, did you have a favorite fighter? I did watch in the past. I actually watched like the first 20 UFCs. So like, when Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn, like that's when like there was like no rules back then. So I'm like old school UFC. I was one of the original UFC watchers. We used to steal cable and we had a black box that allowed us to get pay-per-views, so it was easy to watch it back then. But I don't really watch it. Nowadays. I'm more interested in those press conferences that go crazy than I am the actual matches nowadays. But, if I see something on Twitter or Facebook and it's like, oh, wow, if it gets to a YouTube short, it's going to be something good and I'll watch it. Tiz Mickey says, why do you hate Goldberg? LOL. Whatever gave you the impression that I hate Bill Goldberg? Just kidding. I do hate Bill Goldberg. Yeah, I forgot to say no Goldberg questions. I think I said it earlier in the year. At 50,000 subscribers, I'll reveal why I hate Bill Goldberg. But honestly, the story's boring. I never even met Bill Goldberg in real life, so it's not like he's ever done anything personally to me other than bore me to tears with his matches. But I gave her another question, and she said, "Okay, so who's your favorite actor?" Actor. I don't know. I don't really follow actors and actresses. I really don't. I back in the day, I really liked Avery Brooks. He was the captain of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, but he didn't do a lot of movies. He was more of a stage actor. So I'm hesitant to say he's my favorite actor of all time because he literally only thing that I've ever really seen him in was Deep Space Nine and American History X. So I like Chris Pratt. I like him a lot, and Tom Holland, like him. I'm very if you're in the MCU, I'll probably like you. The Marvelous Miss Maisel, and she was recently Lois Lane. I don't even know her name, but I like her. I liked Amy Adams, who was also in a Lois Lane, but I liked her from the movie Enchanted. Rodeo Dawson, I think that's her name. She was the nurse in Daredevil and in the Netflix stuff, but she was also she's also Ahsoka Katan, but I really fell in love with her in Clerks 2. I like Zendaya. I'm not even good with names. And the guy who plays the Punisher, what's his name? Something Cox. The guy who plays Daredevil. I like them. So, Avery Brooks, and if you played in the MCU, I probably like you. I used to really like Tom Hanks when he was Forrest Gump, too. I really liked him then. We got Lucky Diamond. Why AI slop? So, I did use AI to create this thumbnail. I don't really see a problem with AI. I say that literally only because one day they're going to be our overlords, and I'm hoping that AI has mercy on me. Shup says, do you think WWE in 2026 will be better or worse than in 2025? It will be hard to be worse than 2025. 2025, while had some good moments, it was a horrible year. Definitely Triple H's worst year thus far. Wrestling Sensei, not a question, but a suggestion. Start doing Twitch streams at the same time as your YouTube streams as well. It will help with the money if it goes well. Yeah, I should. I honestly should, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll be honest with you. I'm lucky I even got my YouTube stream going. I am not technically inclined at all. And people are always amazed by that because of some of my past jobs even, but I just don't know. I got it set up. I could not give a tutorial on how to set up live streaming on YouTube, even though I personally set it up. So I would love to do that, but I am just so dumb that I don't know of how to, or how you're supposed to keep track of being on Twitter and YouTube at the same time. I so want to hire somebody to help me do this stuff right now, but I'm so broke. I wish I could get some viral video go off so I could just hire somebody. I don't even have a thumbnail artist anymore, because a thumbnail artist or an editor, because I'm just so broke I couldn't afford them anymore. If you were booker of WWE at the start of 2025, which decisions would you have turned? I would have made CM Punk win the Royal Rumble. CM Punk would have fought Gunther at WrestleMania. CM Punk would have won there, and we would have had Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Boom, right there. And I wouldn't have turned John Cena heel at all. Had some great moments, and the turn itself was amazing, but there was no plan in place. I would have had John Cena it would have been a feel-good year, and he would have wrestled 220 dates, or at least 100 dates. I wouldn't have limited him to 36 now that I know that he wanted to wrestle more. And I would have had Solo Sikoa beat Roman Reigns for the Ula Fala on the first episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and I would have had The Rock come out as the final boss. Every single appearance, including that first episode. Karen Etheridge says, what is the one person, past or present, you would like to meet, and what question would you ask him or her? It doesn't have to be a wrestling star, but it can be. I'll probably keep it wrestling because there's just so many historical figures throughout all of time that, like, I am just huge into history, so, like, it would be hard for me to pick. But we'll go wrestling. If I go very selfish, I'd probably say The Rock, because I would try to get a job. The Rock is definitely a person who, if you can win them over, they will, like, they'll do something nice for you. If I could somehow win The Rock over during this interview process, I would be like, can I book for WWE? I'll do it for free for 3 months. And if you like what you see, then I ask for a job. That's like straight up, I would use this as leverage to do that. But if it was any other one, Eddie Guerrero. I think that guy would have so many freaking good stories. So many freaking good stories that have not been told. From everything I hear, he was just such a wonderful human being. I changed my mind. It would be Eddie Guerrero, and I don't think I would really have any specific question I'd ask him. I'd just say, tell me your life story. And then maybe I would just interject questions here and there. It would be like a Chris Van Vliet interview. Ducky of Doom said, if you had a magic genie, what is one booking decision you would change? You would go back and change. Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker. I do not think that streak should have been broken at all. That would be the decision. Teddy Boy Ward says that he was watching The Rock and Wrestling Connection and WrestleMania 1 on MTV and asked, was I watching during the MTV era of WWE? No, I was not, unfortunately. I was not watching during the MTV era. But I did watch when MTV was airing WCW. They had two specials, like, I forget, like Winter Bash or something, and I did watch those, and those were horrible. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go see Wrestling Bios. He has done a special on those. But yeah, so no, I was not. I caught the tail end of the golden era of WWE. I wasn't there for the height of it. Just Call Me D says, what is your greatest rivalry in WWE, in your opinion? His was Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus The Undertaker. Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Holy cow, that was such must-see TV. That was the peak. I don't think any feud can top that feud right there. Daniel Kinser, Chop, why is the sky blue? The sky is blue because, well, the sun has like every color in its like ray of sun, but when it hits the Earth's atmosphere, right, the color blue in the sunlight, it doesn't have to go as far between particles and molecules, so it actually just boom, 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 and it's the most dominant color we see because it can travel the fastest, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, that's why. So we see blue, even though all the colors are there, just blue is dominant because of our Earth's atmosphere. Chris Bell says, you look like you dropped some weight. Any plans to get jacked and tan in 2026? Just curious. Keep up the great content. I would love to get jacked. I really would. I have added some like dumbbells to my routine. So if I'm watching a YouTube video, I'll try to lift some dumbbells and whatnot and do some squats, but I highly doubt I'll get jacked. Probably just at best have a dad bod. And when it comes to tans, I'm Asian, right? So like I'm naturally prone to, I could have an amazing tan. I should be darker than I am, but that just shows you how much I stay inside. I'm very much a homebody or don't go out much. I don't have friends. I don't leave the house too much except for to go to work and stuff. So like, am I gonna get a tan? Probably not, unless I find someone that wants to go and hang out outside with, but that, I haven't found anyone in like 10 years, so I doubt I'll find anyone soon. I would love to do all that stuff, but realistically speaking, I probably won't. Eric Shook says, are you planning on attending any live events in 2026? Highly doubtful. I want to, I would love to, but I just don't think I'm gonna. It comes down to money. It comes down to money, and then people will text me and be like, "Oh, but it's only $125. It's only $75." Yeah, but then I have to like drive to the city. I have to buy parking. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to take a day off of work. I gotta do all these things. It's never just $125. It's this, it's that. It adds up. I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to get a pity party. I'm fine, but like I wish I could go see an event, but at the same time, prices are too high and the cost of living is too high. WWE is not the only greedy one out there. MK Malta says, should Triple H run back the Mr. McMahon character, or should they bring in a different personality to play the character, or should they never bring back the Mr. McMahon character? No, bring it back and have a Triple H. I already hate Triple H, so like he's perfect for that role. And the crazy thing is about us wrestling fans is I literally hate Triple H, right? But if he came back in a role where I'm supposed to hate him, I would probably eventually love him. And if you had to pick 5 wrestlers from AEW, TNA, and WWE, who would they be? So I don't know TNA enough to really give an honest answer on this one. But if it was WWE, I would take Trick Williams. I would take Drew McIntyre, Oba Femi. I really want Solo Sikoa, but I need to get some women on this, and I can only do 5. Rhea Ripley, even though I'm not a huge Rhea Ripley fan, I would like her crossover appeal is like, I can't deny that. So I'd probably take Rhea Ripley, plus she's super young, and Bianca Belair. AEW, I'm taking Toni Storm, MJF. Who's the guy that wears pink? That guy. Will Ospreay. Mercedes Moné. Kyle Fletcher. That was this guy's name. Down Sam Proud says, why are you using AI slop for your channel? I already addressed this. I don't feel using AI as a tool is a bad thing. I mean, it's not like I'm not an AI image, or am I? But like, so I'm not like using it to just make all the content or anything. I used it to create one thumbnail. And I think I've used AI on this channel to create maybe 4 or 5 thumbnails in the entire history of the channel. And I've used it to create the descriptions for my videos that nobody listens to or nobody reads. So it's like, I don't know if you wanna like help me out, like that offer stands. If you want to, like, give me your email, and every time I feel a need to use AI, I'll email you first, and if you're willing to help me, I won't use AI anymore. But it has to be for free, too, because I'm broke. NPC says, hey, Chop, will you ever do a call-in show? I would love to call in and talk wrestling. I would love to do that, too. I don't know how I would do that, though. I'd be willing to. And Jimbo Slay says, if WWE ever brought back the Mixed Match Challenge, what intergender team would you pair together that can't already be established? All right, so Grande Americano and Chelsea Green. If Chelsea Green loses her partnership with Ethan Page dissolve, they are really good together. So I wouldn't necessarily dissolve that. But then we could do Trick Williams and Jade Cargill. That would be a really good matchup right there. What about Shinsuke Nakamura? If we bring back that unhinged ninja samurai character and we team him up with Julia, and then we make Julia match his energy, then that would be a cool combo right now. No Mixed Match Challenge, no matter what. Make Julia just unhinged like that character. Get rid of Kiana James. So yes, those would be. And Becky Lynch and the New Day. So put either Xavier or Kofi, and they come together on their hatred of Adam Pearce. For some reason, I think Bayley and Javon Evans would be good together too. I think Bayley could, like, I don't know, I think she would just have fun with Javon Evans. So there you go, boys, girls. Those are your Q's, and these were my A's. I hope this was a good session for you. I appreciate every single one of you. I do this. I'll post this comment again, asking asking more questions in about 10 days. I post this at the end of every month, so watch out for that post. All right, boys, all right, girls, thank you very much for watching. See you, bye.